If you are new to design, Figma has been a very powerful tool. And today in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to use Figma. The reason it matters right now more than any other time is Figma used to be one single product, Figma Design, but today I'm going to show you the series of products that Figma contains in 2026, including Figma Buzz, Figma Sites, Figma Make, and other tools that are available in it. So stick with me, I will show you where to get started with it and everything that you need to know to start designing. If you're new to my channel, my name is Naama Jarej. I've been a designer and design professor in Canada for the last 12 years. My passion is to make quality knowledge about design available to everybody. To get started with Figma, first you need to use it either on the browser or the desktop. So if you go to your favorite browser and search for figma.com to create an account, you can continue with your email, continue with Google, or just get started by creating an account. Using Figma in the browser is more than sufficient, but if you are a regular user, definitely you would want to download the desktop app. Make sure that you do this from a figma.com link. So to download the app, to the first link, and you will see Figma downloads. It will give you the options how to download it. If you're using a Windows or a Mac, you can click on those links and download it. For example, I'm using a Macintosh. So if I click on this, it will prompt you to actually download a Figma installer. And once I've done that, if you look at it here in my Finder, it's a DMG file. And what it actually does, it will request you to move Figma to your applications folder. Please note that Figma is available for free. But as a free account, there are many limitations to the account. You do have access to Figma Design, FigJam, Slides, Buzz, Site, and Make. This is how a free account looks like. You have certain limitations to how many files you can use. Generally, you can have maybe one project, one personal project, and there are a lot of limitations. If you decide you need more, you can always go to professional accounts. This is what many freelancers use so that they can have access to certain seats. For example, a full seat will include access to all these different products. But there are also developer seats or collab seats like product managers who might just want to look at your file, and the cost for their licenses are much less. In terms of organization accounts, these are for big organizations. And they have access to everything with many, many more features. So you can look at that and consider what's most relevant for you. Once you've downloaded the Figma app like this, or if you're getting started in the browser, let's get familiar with the Figma interface. Once you've logged into Figma, based on what you already have, you either see your project. So there's a typical left side navigation that has your name, your account that is linked. There's a notification, access to your recent files, or the ability to search for files. You have access to Figma community. Figma community is a huge part of the reason of why Figma has become so successful and popular. You have access to hundreds of thousands of files that people have created in the different Figma products, including UI kits that were produced by large companies like Apple, like Google, Material Design. I will show you in other videos how to access those. But just opening a community file, you will be able to leverage what other people created. So now back to our home page. Other than Figma community, there are the files. Now how to get started? At the very top of your file, you can see all the different Figma products are now available. And I'm going to start with the first one, which is Figma Design, because this is the essence of Figma, or at least what Figma was in 2025. So when we say Figma Design, this particular tool is intended for product designers, or what you would hear otherwise called UX designer or UI designer. The interface itself is always made of 3 sections. To the right side here, you will see the different pages. This is the name of the file. Let's call it design. You can create different pages. We're in this page, for example. this is the canvas. This is where we're going to design everything that we create. On the right side, you will find what we call the property panel. Now, because my page is empty, I can change its color or do something related to the page. What you need to keep in mind, this property panel often changes based on what you have selected. And right here at the bottom of the canvas, you have your toolbar that has access to so many different tools that designers use. For example, this is a frame tool. The moment you select this tool or you use a shortcut, you will have access to so many interfaces that designers need to create products. For example, an iPhone 16. The moment I select that, Figma inserts the correct, you will see this is a correct width, 393 pixel of an iPhone 16 with the height of 852. So you're able to select frames that are very specific to products, because this is about designing products, mobile applications, and websites. This is where Figma Design excels. There are so many tools right here. I am linking to you above to a video that guides you through all the details of Figma Design, so you can go through them. Figma Draw, right here at the bottom, if I select on this, gives me access to more vector tools that are very essential to design in Figma. This is what we call a home tab. So if you're using the Figma desktop, and I'm going to demo the remaining parts from the desktop, you will see this is the app. I have opened it. It has exactly the same interface as Figma in the browser, and that's the power of it. If you're designing in the browser, it will sync with whatever you're doing right here in the app. You can see on the very top the different products that are available to you through Figma. We've already covered Figma Design. I'm going to look now at what we call FigJam. So what is FigJam? FigJam is also a tool for UX or product designers, but it's intended for different purposes. It's not about designing a product. So as a product designer, when I want to design the UI of a product, I need Figma Design. But FigJam is a fantastic tool for workshops. It's a place where designers come to think and plan what they want to do. We use it for the UX part more than the UI part. Very often when I'm conducting a workshop, this is where I would come to FigJam with a bunch of team members. We could do a daily sync. We can do user flows. There's so many things that we plan and think about and brainstorm about. That's why when you come to FigJam, you will see you have all these available templates that you can get started with. But the purpose of FigJam is to give you the space where you can brainstorm with your team, you can plan ahead, you can have multiple people on Zoom conducting a workshop. Now, the third tool I want to show you is Figma Slides. That was also released somewhere early in 2025 or late 2024. And what Figma Slides does is it allows you to prepare presentations. So it's the equivalent of Keynote in Mac or PowerPoint, but it's very powerful because it's connected with other Figma products. So it allows you to copy from Figma Design. So as a designer, if I wanted to do presentations, Figma Slides is a fantastic place to get started. As you can see, they have so many templates that you can get started with. You don't have to start from scratch. So if I'm starting here, for example, let me add all these slides. It is geared towards presentation. So you have presenter notes, you have all these slides that you can edit. You don't have as much flexibility to do the same design detailing that you would do in Figma Design, for example. But it follows a very similar pattern where you have a layers panel on the left, you have the canvas, this is where your main work happens, and you also have the property panel on the right. This is the standard layout of a Figma Design file, like we've seen at the very beginning. Your canvas is where you do your work, and then you have the property panel that is always related to that particular item on the canvas. The next product I want to show you is Figma Buzz. This is still in beta. It was released in Config, which is June 2025. And this product is intended towards a completely different audience than Figma was originally working with. Because product designer and UX designers are very different from marketing designers. There are designers who work with social media every day, who need to create so many different posts, and that's what Figma Buzz is intended for. Figma Buzz is kind of a competitor to Canva. That is the tool used very commonly by social media creators and marketing designers. You have the ability to get started with ads, social, print, business. You can even get started with something related to events. So let's go with something for social, for example. I will pick this template. It gives me some designs. There is the ability here to move between the buzz mode, which is designing these detailed social media posts or other things. And there is also a design mode, which takes you would see, to the format of Figma Design, where you're able to access the Figma Design more detailed tools. Going back to Buzz here, you will see you have access to so many things that will make your work faster. You have access to Unsplash, which is a fantastic image library. You also have the ability to customize what your social posts are. For example, do you want an Instagram ad? Do you want an Instagram reel cover or a Facebook post? They have all these templates and details already available for you, so you don't have to worry about creating the right sizes. And when it's time to export, you have the ability to batch export assets. If you were to create a post for Facebook, you can export it for everything else. The same content that you create, you can export it in different formats that it fits multiple social media platforms. The next product in Figma I want to show you is Figma Sites. Once again, this is still in beta, even though it has made significant progress. We start with the same familiar interface, left side layer panel, canvas in the middle, and also your property panel. But even just getting started with Figma Sites, the goal is for you to publish a website. So the first frame that you get contains a desktop and mobile, and you're able to add a tablet size. The intention is for you to create from the very beginning a responsive design that works on different platforms. So anything that you design here on the desktop also gets automatically designed for tablet and mobile. It gets resized. Let me show you a quick example. If I were to create this rectangle here and make changes to it, it will automatically happen for the other screen sizes as well, saving significant time for designers. See, I'm linking to you to a Figma Sites in-depth tutorial that I've created where I actually published my portfolio site. The goal of Figma Site is to allow you to publish a website. Let's say you're a contractor designer. You know how to design, but you don't know how to code. Figma Sites does that on your behalf. It generates the code for you. Let me show you. If I were to click this play button, whatever we have here is not just a design the way it is in Figma Design. It is actually the live code for it. So once we click publish, this will publish your complete design. In here, there is integration with Figma Make. We're yet to talk about this. There is a CMS, which means once you've published your sites for your client, they will have the ability to go and manage this content. Content management system allows businesses to manage the content of the site that you create for them. So this would become the equivalent of a Shopify platform that you create for your client. That is the power of Figma Sites. Of course, it's still in beta. There are many enhancements that are being done, but there's a lot of capability already that is powerful. You can insert already ready-made blocks, navigations, features, embeds, pages. If you wanted an About Me page, it's already designed right here for you. And of course, you can go and customize it. So many wonderful things that would make your work as an individual designer much faster. Very powerful tool with a lot of potential, still in development and in making. And lastly, last but not least, is Figma Make. This was one of the most potent new products that Figma has released in Config 2025. It's a tool that allows you to do vibe coding. If you're new to vibe coding is the ability to write in common language and to achieve code right away. You can write something as simple as generate a website for business travel. course, that's not the best prompt, but I just want to show you that we're able to create something even from a very beginner prompt like this. My 9-year-old son is so in love with this product. Look, he creates games like this that he can start doing. You can create anything with Figma Make. It's a very powerful tool. And on the left side, you have the chat. You can see the reasoning of the LLM. If you're curious about vibe coding, I highly recommend that you watch my Figma Make complete course. It will guide you through everything that you need to know. As you can see, from nothing, from scratch, we already have a website that is ready. And if I click on the play button right here, you will see this is an actual live coded website. And this is just from a 3-liner paragraph that anybody can create. This is the power of vibe coding. This could be anything, a product. Do you see? There's so many pages that just got created from a single prompt. This is actually extraordinary, and it's the revolution that AI is creating in the design industry. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Now that you know the basics of using Figma, I have multiple courses that I will link to you up here that you can use to leverage more in-depth knowledge about Figma. There's a whole course that guides you through going and creating a complete iOS app project. I will guide you step by step to know all the in-depth advanced knowledge on Figma.